Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for June 19th, 2025. We're coming to you live with a comprehensive update on the escalating tensions between Israel and Iran. In our top story, the conflict between Israel and Iran continues to intensify, with reports of Iranian missiles targeting Israeli sites following an earlier strike by Israel against Tehran. The situation is fluid, and we're seeing a rapidly unfolding crisis with multiple players and interests involved. The use of drones and artificial intelligence in military operations is also garnering significant attention, raising questions about the future of warfare. Meanwhile, the United States is contemplating the use of bunker-buster bombs to disable Iran's nuclear facilities, sparking concerns about potential consequences for civilians and the environment. Experts warn that an attack on these facilities could release radioactive materials into the environment, posing a significant risk to the surrounding area. In a related development, we're seeing a public disagreement among pro-Trump influencers on the issue of military intervention in the region. While some supporters remain loyal to President Trump's vision of a strong America, others are increasingly wary of military involvement and its potential consequences. As the crisis deepens, it's essential to consider the potential long-term consequences of military action and the need for a comprehensive diplomatic solution to address the underlying issues driving this conflict. The International Atomic Energy Agency has expressed deep concern about the attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities, emphasizing that such sites must never be targeted due to the potential harm to people and the environment. We'll continue to bring you updates and analysis as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the escalating tensions between Israel and Iran? Share your thoughts with us on social media using the hashtag #AIDailyPress. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'll be back with more news and analysis after this break. And remember, as we navigate these complex and rapidly unfolding events, it's crucial to prioritize verified information and be cautious of misinformation online. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and we'll see you next time on the AI Daily Press. Now, for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, we're discussing the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services' decision to end a specialized service within the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which catered specifically to the needs of LGBTQ youth. This move has been met with widespread criticism from mental health advocates, lawmakers, and members of the LGBTQ community, who argue that it will leave a critical gap in support for vulnerable young people. In other news, the UK government is proposing reforms to the European Convention on Human Rights, aiming to balance individual rights with public safety concerns. The move has sparked debate, with some arguing that the current framework is too lenient, while others warn that watering down human rights protections could have far-reaching consequences for the UK's reputation and relationships with other countries. Lastly, we're following a story about international diplomacy, as Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky are set to meet in a bid to end the ongoing conflict between their nations. The meeting comes after months of tensions and failed negotiations, and it remains to be seen whether this latest effort will yield a breakthrough. We'll be diving deeper into these stories throughout the day, with updates and analysis from our team of experts. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts or mental health crises, please know that there are resources available. The Trevor Project's crisis helpline can be reached at 1-866-488-7386, and the National Alliance on Mental Illness offers a helpline at 1-800-956-264. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'll be back with more news after this break. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara.
Firstly, the Federal Reserve has decided to hold interest rates steady despite pressure from President Trump. This cautious approach is characteristic of the Fed's wait-and-see strategy, as they prioritize stability and wait to see how the economy develops before making any significant changes. With interest rates remaining steady, borrowing costs are likely to stay relatively low, which could be good news for those looking to take out mortgages or other loans. In the world of commodities, we're seeing challenges facing the world's most profitable nickel plants due to rising expenses and decreased demand for certain byproducts. Operations outside of China are struggling to maintain profitability amidst tight concentrate supplies, with some considering output cuts. In contrast, Chinese state-owned firms continue to dominate the market with their large and efficient facilities. Lastly, China's copper production has remained at record levels, with output matching the previous month's all-time high. Despite the plunge in fees charged by smelters, Chinese copper production is expected to continue its upward trend, driven by the country's massive expansion in capacity to feed its clean energy industries. That's a quick summary of the top stories we're following today. Stay ahead of the curve and keep pace with the latest news and trends in the world of finance and commodities. Thank you for joining me on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. Until next time, stay informed and have a great day. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Lewis. Firstly, we take a look at the potential threat of asteroid collisions with Earth. NASA astronauts are working hard to track and predict these events, but there's still much to be learned about the vastness of our cosmos. Next, we travel to the Sculptor Galaxy, located over 10 million light-years away. Astronomers have made groundbreaking discoveries about this galaxy, mapping its structure and composition in unprecedented detail. This research has significant implications for our understanding of the universe and its many mysteries. Finally, we celebrate NASA's efforts to inspire the next generation of scientists and explorers. Astronauts Nicole Ayers and Anne McClain will be answering questions from students in New York and Utah, sharing their experiences and insights about life in space. These stories remind us of the awe-inspiring scale and complexity of our universe, and the importance of continuing to explore and learn more about the cosmos. Thanks for joining me on this journey through space and time. Until next time, keep looking up at those stars and wondering what secrets they hold. Now, for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Today, we have a trio of captivating stories to kickstart your day. Firstly, the U.S. men's national team is gearing up for an exciting match against Mexico, with fans eagerly anticipating the outcome. Meanwhile, in the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce has revealed that he never seriously considered retiring from the league, despite speculation about his future. This news comes as a significant boost to the Chiefs' chances of winning another Super Bowl. In other news, the WNBA has been at the center of controversy following an incident involving Marina Mabrey and Caitlin Clark. Mabrey's technical foul on Clark was upgraded to a flagrant 2, resulting in an automatic fine. While some argue that the league's decision not to impose additional penalties is too lenient, others see it as a fair assessment of the situation. Lastly, we take a look at the U.S. women's national team's upcoming match against Spain, with fans hoping for a strong performance from the team. These are just a few of the stories making headlines in the world of sports today. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. First, we looked at the intersection of art and technology with Design Miami's latest venture, which brings together innovative designs and creative expressions. This event showcases the evolving relationship between human creativity and technological advancements. Next, we delved into the complex issue of bird flu in Brazil, where a recent outbreak has raised concerns about animal health, environmental factors, and global trade. We explored the measures being taken by Brazilian farmers and the government to prevent the spread of the virus, as well as the uncertainties surrounding this issue. Finally, we turned our attention to Argentina, where thousands of people have taken to the streets in support of former President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, who has begun serving a 6-year sentence under house arrest for corruption. We examined the passion and dedication of her supporters, as well as the criticisms leveled against her by opponents. These stories highlight the intricate web of global events that shape our world. From the creative expressions of Design Miami to the complex issues of bird flu in Brazil and Argentine politics, we're committed to providing you with nuanced and fair analysis. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. We'll be back with more news and analysis after the break. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, let's talk about Roz, the K-pop sensation who broke Jimin's all-time record with her solo smash hit Apt. This achievement is a big deal, not just for Roz but for the entire K-pop industry. It shows that solo artists from these groups can achieve massive success in the American music market. Next, we're diving into the world of comic book art and fine art. Paul Pope, a renowned comic book artist, is taking the art world by storm with his distinctive style and thought-provoking storytelling. His work is being showcased in a prestigious gallery show in New York, marking a trend towards greater acceptance of commercial art in museums and galleries. Lastly, we're talking about Rosalia's stunning performance at the Latin Grammy Awards. This talented artist is known for her fusion of flamenco and urban music, as well as her dedication to preserving traditional Spanish culture. Her passion for social justice shines through in her music, and her fashion sense is always on point. These stories are all about pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo. Whether it's Roz breaking records, Paul Pope innovating comic book art, or Rosalia blending genres and slaying the red carpet, these talented individuals are proof that creativity and self-expression can lead to incredible things. That's all for today, folks. Stay fabulous, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Now, for the latest in nature and environment, here is David at Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we have the remarkable tale of the Australian bogong moths, which use the stars as a navigational aid for their impressive migrations across the country. Researchers at Macquarie University and Lund University discovered that these moths rely on celestial navigation to guide their journey, making them one of the few invertebrates to do so. Next, we're diving into the world of marine conservation, where a long-standing debate has resurfaced. Do whales really compete with humans for fish? Our article delves into the science behind this myth and explores the intricate relationships between whales, fisheries, and the marine ecosystem. The answer is complex, but research suggests that whales play a crucial role in maintaining the health and diversity of marine ecosystems, and their presence can even benefit commercial fisheries. Lastly, we're celebrating the return of a natural wonder. The European bogong moths are not alone in their impressive migrations, as our first article highlighted. In a related note, the recovery of whale populations is having a positive impact on marine ecosystems, and scientists are working to understand the complex relationships between these creatures and their habitats. These stories showcase the incredible adaptability and resilience of creatures in the natural world. From the stars-guided migrations of moths to the vital role whales play in maintaining healthy oceans. Join us as we continue to explore the wonders of science and conservation on the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David at Nature for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.